Welcome to the Week 6 edition of ROFA's video interviews. Today we have Coach Paul Werner of the Lost Springs Goat joining us. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You are off to a 2-3 start, only 2 games out of first, but reports out of Lost Springs indicate you do not feel like your team is able to compete at a GOAT-like level this year. What makes you think this?
Well, if you look at the only way you can really evaluate your team from an objective perspective is to look at points scored. And right now we're scoring about 120 points a week in the last 3 years. We put up an average of 150 points a week, so we're about 30 points a week behind our usual rate. And that doesn't sit well with us, and that's not something you're going to win a championship with. So we've got to figure out what the best way to improve that is, whether it's to try to improve that this year, or to try and focus on improving that in the future.
Last week you made some drama around the league when you and Los Gatos owner Roger O'Neill agreed to a deal that would have handed the Faded Gooses a win and you a loss. Please take us through how that trade even came about, your thought processing about it, and your feelings on how the league reacted to it.
Sure. That was a deal that we made with the future in mind. We weren't necessarily planning on being a seller that early in the year, but we had the opportunity to sell defensive players for 30-35 times their value. They'd go for, I don't think I could get 25 cents from next year's draft for Antonio Cromartie. I got $15 for him in this situation. So we determined that, looking back at it, with the way we were scoring points this year, that one win wouldn't be the biggest change on what's really the difference between 4-8 and 5 and 8 and 4 and 9, or even 6 and 7. I mean, we really want to get to 7, 6, 8 and 5 really, and we didn't think that we were a team that was necessarily looking at that. So.
You also had a trade with Tishomingo that sent defensive juggernaut J.J. Watt and running back Darren McFadden out of Lost Springs and brought in the Cowboy tandem of DeMarco Murray and Des Bryant. Was this trade made to improve your squad now, or was it looking toward the future, or both?
That was both. We were really looking at adding another asset. And as much as I love J.J. Watt, and he's probably the best defensive player in the league for fantasy purposes, he's a defensive player, and he's going to be getting 5 points a week. Wow, when we can add one extra position player to fill a hole in our lineup, and one extra position player that we could maybe look to sell if things don't go well. That was something that definitely caught our eye, and Des Bryant, if he screws his head on straight at some point in the next few weeks, is a potential keep at $29 next year. So those are all things that factor into that decision. But we'll see. We'll see if it helps us now, or if it's something that helps us more down the road.
This week you traveled to Tishomingo to take on the downtrodden Turtle Cats. Before the season, people would have surely circled this as a marquee matchup, but now you both find yourselves at the bottom of your respective conferences. You and Mr. Mooney both take great pride in your organizations, however. Does this game still mean a little something to you?
It means something, yeah. It's always nice to beat Tishomingo, and that'd be a nice win. But at the same time, we have to evaluate going forward. We have to evaluate, future, just the whole franchise this week, next year. And if something comes up that would help us more in the future than like last week, for example, then we definitely have to take that into consideration.
The deadline for trading draft money is week 7. Would you still be a seller if you won this week and were sitting at 500?
Well, it depends. Again, you can't judge yourself on wins and losses when points scored is a big indicator. If we score 106 points and we win, it's not like we got better. It's not like we're improving. It's fool's gold, really. So we'll see how this week goes, and we'll definitely, win or lose, entertain dollar amounts for players in the next week, because that is something that can help our franchise, and we'll take anything that can help our franchise into consideration.
Coach, anything else you'd like to discuss today while we have you here?
I expect a busy week on the phone lines next week. regardless of whether I'm 2-4 or 3-3, it'll be a good time to kind of try something new in ROFA and see if potential contenders are really looking to buy, or if people in the bottom are looking to sell. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes.
Okay, Coach. Thanks a lot for coming on, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.